I tell you, nakailang iyak ako. Siguro 6 months akong umiiyak. Hindi naman sa 6 months. Siguro mga 3 months lang. Sampay. Goodness, baby C. Baby C is really bulging. Really bulging, guys. I'm just hanging some of the clothes I laundried sa heater so that when we turn on the heater, it will be nice and dry. Kasi medyo, ano pa siya eh, medyo damp. Damp! So damp. Wala akong kasha. Ay, baby, is in a way. Ayan. Here, kita niyo ba guys? And I have some there as well. Mga makakapal na damit. Anyways, still early to dinner and I'm actually still really full. So, meron tayong na-receive na question, guys. So, when I noticed like a really interesting question that I know you guys would want to hear the answer, ano ko siya, sasagutin ko siya in a vlog. So, abangan nyo lang. And if you wanna ask something, just let me know by commenting on my videos and vlogs. And yeah, I can answer them in different vlogs. So anyways, itong question na to was from Madulce Magdayo. And sabi niya, sis, madali ba mag-adapt dyan sa Italy? Which is a really, really good question if you are, alam mo yun, interested in moving to Italy or meron kang jowa na Italian or husband na Italian and you want to know. Kasi obviously, di ba, ang hirap naman pumunta sa bansa na you don't know how it's like, how the life is, and all that. I think that, you know, vlogging in Italy is a really great idea to show other Filipinas and I guess other people who are interested in living here. Ayun, I hope my vlogs help in some way. But anyways, I'm not answering your question, am I? So, mahirap pa mag-adapt dito. For me, siguro, it took me about a good year. Siguro, I think. Yeah, maybe a good year to adapt to things here in Italy because obviously ibang-iba siya sa Philippines in a way of living, in a way of, you know, people. They're two different countries, diba? Which is completely normal. And I'm pretty sure that there are other things. Let's say, for example, if an Italian lived in the Philippines, marami na naman siyang kailangan i-adjust or i-adapt sa Philippines because it's a different country. Mahirap ba? It depends. Kasi it depends talaga sa iyo kung madali ka bang mag-adjust and mag-adapt sa mga bagay-bagay. Pero para sa akin kasi, it took me a good year. I would say a max of a year in total. Like, when I say in total, I'm talking about the food, the people, still pending on that one. Just the way of living here. Siguro a good year. Yung weather, because of course they have all, you know, the 4 seasons. Meron silang summer, spring, what else? Winter, autumn. In terms of the weather, hindi ako nahirapan masyado. Kasi, I don't know. Honestly, yan yung isa sa akala ko na mas mahirapan ako. Especially sa winter time. Akala ko lalamigin ako ng super. Hindi naman pala. Parang okay lang naman siya. Kasi meron ka naman, matututo ka naman eh. Learn to wear clothings, like how they wear things here, and warm yourself up. Ganun lang talaga. And you just deal with the cold. Pero kung lamigin ka talaga, lamigin naman ako, pero hindi naman ako super nahirapan. Pero, the thing is, dito yun sa south. Okay, so I don't know kung the same with the north kasi mas malamig sa north. In terms of food, yes, I guess, obviously, oo, nahirapan ako at the start because, yun nga, Italians are very known for their pasta and bread. So, kung hindi ka naman mapasta na tao and hindi ka naman, alam mo yung matinapay na tao, yeah, obviously, mahirapan ka at the start, you know, you'll adjust to it. There are people that I know na nahirapan pa hanggang ngayon and after living here for how many years, you always have an option anyways. Meron ka naman choice eh. Hindi naman sa wala silang kanin or bigas or what. They have, of course, me, like I'm pregnant and I want rice most of the time or sometimes. And ayun, napapa-rice talaga ako. I guess the only thing that they don't have, yung mga namimiss ko, I guess would be mga canned goods, which is not the good food. Mga canned goods like corned beef, mga sardinas, alam mo yun, yung mga Pinoy food. Ganun yung namimiss ko talaga. Siguro nasanay na lang din ako na, you know, more on pasta and all that. Kasi, di ba nag-live-in kami ni Marco sa Philippines before moving here. We were already living together for almost a year, I think. Na ano ko na yun, na-ready ko na yung sarili ko. It was hard for me at the start. Like, hindi ko na-imagine sarili ko na pasta lang, okay na. Parang, syempre, mga Pinoy, mga Asian, para sa atin, kailangan natin ng kanin. But, to be honest, it's only in our minds na kailangan lang natin ng kanin. You know, pasta is also carbs. So, of course, mabubusog at mabubusog ka rin naman. So, that's weather, that's food. In terms of mga tao naman, this is something that I'm still obviously adjusting to. I did actually do a video about this. Things that they don't tell you before moving to Italy. Lilive ko yung link sa taas para lang makita nyo kung gusto nyo makita yon. It's still a struggle, not really a struggle for me, but something that I haven't really adjusted to fully would be yung mga tao dito. Because they are really completely different from sa mga tao sa Philippines in terms of mga Pinoy kasi we're known to be, alam mo yung masayahin na tao, yung palangiti. Alam mo yung kahit may problema ka, nakakangiti ka pa rin. Parang chill lang ang buhay sa Philippines. Parang stress-free. Alam niyo ni Marco, I mean, Marco also says the same thing that napaka-stress-free sa Philippines compared here. Dito kasi parang lahat ng kilos mo, parang stress lahat, parang ganun. Kailangan magaling lahat sa paningin ng ibang tao, parang ganun. I don't know. But I could be wrong as well. And it's just completely different. Hindi ko alam kung paano ko pa i-explain, kung paano ba sila magkaiba. Pero the main, I think, would be yung ugali nila. And ayun, yun na may miss ko talaga, yung masayahin ng mga tao. Parang dito, parang lagi silang galit. Parang laging may pinoproblema, laging may nirereklamo. Kung yun ang ma-adapt mo, mas-stress ka rin. Isa sa pinaka hindi ko ma-adjustan pa or ma-adapt hanggang ngayon is yung ugali ng tao. Kahit naman si Marco kahit naman siya, nahihirapan din siya mag-adjust sa mga tao dito. Hindi siya nakakatuwa. Hindi siya healthy in a way. What else? So ayun, yung mga tao, expenses. So in terms of expenses, yes. Well, obvious naman na mas mura sa Pinas. I mean, if you compare anything sa Pinas naman, compared to other countries, mas mura talaga sa Pinas. Let's say for example, nagre-rent kami, right? Nung nag-rent kami dito, and not all the apartments are like this. Pag nag-rent ka kasi dito, bibilin mo lahat ng gamit. Wala yung kusina, wala yung mga sofa, walang mga dekorasyon, walang mga lamesa, as in empty. Meron lang dito nung lumipat kami was the toilet, the shower, the bathtub, yung lababo sa CR. Sa kusina nga walang lababo kasi part siya ng kitchen set. So, ayun, in terms of that, hello.
Nothing. I just realized that I didn't fade out any of the videos.
So yun nga, in terms of expenses, ganun dito. You have to buy everything, right babe? You have to buy everything when you move into a new apartment. As in, back to zero ka. But that's if you don't have anything. Like me and Marco, we didn't have anything kasi nga, kakalipat lang namin dito. But when you move to another apartment, yun, you have to make sure naman na perfect yung size. Let's say for example, itong kusina namin. Yan. This has to be, let's say when we move to our own home and we buy our own place. Wow, sana next year, diba? Let's say for example, itong kusina, this has to fit in the kitchen sa lilipatan namin bahay. So it has to fit. If not, what would happen if not? If the kitchen doesn't fit in a new house, we would have to modify the kitchen?
Oh, if we change house?
Yeah, if we change house.
Yeah, you have to, look, for example,
modify it.
Now, the kitchen that we have is slightly bigger than standard. So, in that case, we'll have to sacrifice maybe
a cabinet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then the problem is, you will have to cut the top as well.
Oh, that's true.
Because we have a massive
bench. Yeah. So yun, you would have to modify it kung hindi siya magkakasya. But that's the good thing. At least meron ka na. Everything that we have here, ito lahat sa amin lahat to. Ang hindi lang sa amin yung toilet bowl. So ayan, in terms of food naman, let's say expenses of food, mura siya for, let's say, in a town kung nasan kami. Small town siya. It's not like in the city. I know that in the city, mas mahal yung mga pagkain. I'm not saying like lahat mura, pero mura siya compared to the other cities. Okay naman yung food nila. Fresh naman. Expense-wise, in terms of food, it depends kung saan ka titira. If you live in the city, obviously, mas expensive siya. If you live in, a town like this, then I guess, the cost will be less. In terms naman of hospitalization, diba? In terms naman of medical na lang. I think the medical here is really good, especially up north. From what I know, libre kasi dito, lahat. Hindi ko rin alam kasi hindi pa ako na hospital ever dito. Knock on wood. Pag public hospital, you don't have to pay anything kasi meron kang card, meron kang health card, which is the Tercera Sanitaria, which you need to apply for pagka lapag mo dito sa Italy. That's one of the IDs that you would need to apply for. okay? The Tercera Sanitaria. So yan yung hospital. I think it's free because you have this Tercera Sanitaria and the government takes care of your expenses. So that's why, you know, medical here is really, really good, or hospital here. And also it depends as well where you are. Like if you compare the north from the south of Italy, I think that, and I've heard as well that medical wise, hospital wise, it is a lot better up north because they have more sources and such. But that's just, alam mo yun, I just heard it from people. Don't quote and unquote me on that. But the thing is, if you go to private clinics, which they have here, you know, yung mga private doctors, private clinics, private studios, alam mo yun, ayaw mong pumunta sa public. Ayun, may bayad sila, obviously. Per, let's say, appointment, per consultation, lahat may bayad. Kahit ka mag-consult ka lang, magtanong ka lang, isang tanong lang, may bayad. Kasi nga, private sila. And that's what we're doing right now, me and Marco. And that's not to brag. Ano, hindi ako nagmamayabang na, uy, private kami, guys. Hindi naman sa ganun. The thing is, I wouldn't mind going to public hospital, pero considering na nasa pandemic tayo, I don't think it's the right time to go to a hospital right now. So, yes, every consultation we have, every checkup we have with the doctor, we make a payment. Once I deliver, or he gives, you know, he delivers baby C, we also have to pay him. Not like if I give birth in a public hospital, libre, because you have the health card and you don't have to pay anything. I've covered quite a lot, no? I've covered the food, I've covered expenses on food, I've also covered the people here, the weather, I've also covered hospitalization, medical-wise, and all that. Now, in terms of work, this one I am not so sure. If you guys have been following me, I've mentioned this quite a few times that Italy is actually not a you know, it's not an English-speaking, spoken country. English is not their main language, nor is it their second language, I think. So, if you wanted to find a job here, not that I've, you know, ever tried, I think you would really need to learn Italian. And I think that's the only way people will hire you is, of course, if you speak Italian. Not unless, alam mo yun, mag-apply ka sa ibang mga touristic area, let's say Rome, or you apply in Milan where, you know, there are more tourists there, then I'm pretty sure you can find a job. Pero if you want to work in a small town or maybe in a non-touristic place, I'm pretty sure that you would need to learn Italian very well. And ayun pa, isa pa yun. So, in connection to that or in relation to that, yun yung kailangan mong i-adapt din is the language. Kasi like I said, Italians don't speak English, or like majority of them do not speak English. So that's one thing that I am still very much adjusting to. I've been here for 2 years and nahihirapan pa rin ako hanggang ngayon because Italian is not a very easy language to learn. Now, it can be, you know, if me and Marco, you know, spoke in Italian all day, but since we don't, you know, our main language is English, kaya ako medyo nahihirapan. What really helps me a little bit, if there was a way, you know, if there was something that really helps me learn Italian, is when I go out and buy some things, because I feel like I have no choice but to speak in Italian. You know, sometimes, you know, the locals correct me, sometimes they don't understand me, sometimes they do. And if you want to learn the language, there are a lot of schools. I know that there are learning schools around here, mainly in the cities, I think. Pwede kang matuto mag-Italian. So, yeah. And I think that's about it. Those are the main points. Those are the main things that I really needed to adapt. Or those are the things that you may need to adapt to as well when you come here to Italy, or if you plan to live here in Italy. So yeah, it took me a good year, 1 year to adjust to things. I tell you, nakailang iyak ako. Siguro 6 months akong umiiyak. Hindi naman sa 6 months. Siguro mga 3 months lang. Kasi namimiss ko ang Pilipinas. And I mean, I still do. I really miss the Philippines. Pero yung pagka-homesick, yung pagka-miss mo ng lahat ng Pinoy things, especially when you crave Filipino food, na hindi mo mahagilap dito, doon ka talaga hindi naman sa magsisisi, pero doon ka talaga wow, I miss the Philippines a lot. Hindi ko talaga na-expect na may miss ko ang Philippines na ganito. So hopefully matapos na tong COVID kasi gusto kong umuwi ng Pinas. But now, right now, since I'm also pregnant, so medyo mahirap kumilos ngayon. Inantok. Sorry guys. And ayun, I think that's it. That is it. I actually need to charge. I've been blabbing here for 20 minutes. So, thank you for sending in your question.